Hey guys, so today we're making some lemon blueberry swim biscuits. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So I am going to start with some all-purpose flour, and I am going to sift my flour just to make sure everything is nice and smooth, but it's not a necessity. But I have, and I'm using somebody else's recipe. This is the Butter Babe. I found her on Instagram, and so I'm using her recipe. But I just have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I am going to add in 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And this was a really simple recipe. I used her cheddar bay biscuit, swim biscuit recipe for a previous video. I like her recipes. And so after the flour, I added in a little bit of salt, and then I am adding in 2.5 tablespoons of some granulated sugar, and I'm gonna whisk that until it is combined. I am using low-fat buttermilk because that's all they had at my store, but you can use whole fat if you want. And this is 1 3/4 cup of some buttermilk, and then I have some fresh lemons. Make sure you guys use fresh lemon juice. It really does matter. And of course, I forgot to zest the lemon before I sliced it in half, so make sure you zest the lemon first. But I'm just gonna juice these lemons, and so I need about 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice and about a teaspoon of some lemon zest. And I'm just gonna put this to the side. I'm going to create a well in the center of my dry ingredients, and I'm going to pour my buttermilk in there, and then I am just going to whisk this together along with that lemon juice and this fresh lemon zest. And again, you want to make sure that you're using fresh lemons. It makes a ton of a difference, I promise you. I'm also going to put in a splash of some vanilla extract, and I also added in just a little bit of some lemon extract that wasn't in the original recipe, but I thought it would enhance the lemon flavor. And I'm just going to mix this until everything comes together, and you don't want to over mix the batter, just until the ingredients are combined. And make sure your oven is preheating to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I have some fresh blueberries here, and this is in her description, she said 1.5 small packages of some blueberries, so just like a pint or so of some blueberries. And so I am coating it with some flour so that the blueberries don't sink to the bottom of the biscuit batter. And then I'm just going to fold those in gently because you do not want to break your blueberries. I have 1 stick of unsalted butter that I'm going to put in a 9 by 11 pan, or 8.5 by 11 pan, and I just put it in the oven until it was melted. I am brushing the sides of it, just to get it nice and greased. And then I'm going to pour my biscuit batter inside, and I'm going to spread it out until it is nice and even. Don't be alarmed by the amount of butter in here. It's going to taste good, y'all. And I did see a few people cut their biscuits prior to putting it in the oven the first time, but her recipe said to put it in for 10 minutes, take it out, cut it into however many biscuits you want, and then you're going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. And while that is baking, I'm just going to make the glaze for our delicious biscuits. And so this is about 3 ounces of some cream cheese, and then I'm going to add in this is 2 cups of powdered sugar. Again, I am sifting the powdered sugar because powdered sugar specifically, it does tend to have big clumps in it, and so you do want to make sure that you sift this portion of the recipe. And then I'm going to add in about a tablespoon or so of some vanilla extract. You can add lemon extract if you want, but I'm going to add in this fresh lemon juice, and so that was about 3 tablespoons or so of lemon juice. It really just going to depend on how much of this icing you are trying to make. And I wish I had used a hand mixer to mix this so that it can be smoother, but I just had to put a little more elbow grease up in here to make it nice and smooth. And so I am adding in some lemon zest. This is optional, but again, I want to bring out this delicious lemon flavor for the blueberry lemon biscuits, and these swim biscuits are trending all over social media, so make sure you make it. It's super simple. And so this is what the biscuits look like fresh out of the oven, and I am just going to glaze it with the icing that we just made. And I do recommend eating these hot or warm because it just tastes better. And so I'm just kind of breaking up the biscuits just so it's more defined, and then I'm just gonna drizzle the icing on top. I did not use all of it. I probably used half of what I made, and then I used the other half because I actually made some lemon blueberry bread, like a loaf, and use the remainder of the icing. But this is going to be so good, y'all. And this is the finished product, perfect for breakfast, snack, dessert. And I even had to slow this thing down so y'all can see how delicious this is. Oh my goodness, this was perfection. Okay, if you haven't made this yet, make you some. I promise you, you will be in love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.